All right. Let me check the other things here. Oh, make sure it's muted. Yep. Twitch Observer. Oh, that's not. YouTube, Facebook. Where's my Facebook notification? Come on, you. Says it's still good. All right. Oh, it's right here. YouTube, Facebook. Oh, no. There we go. All right. Now we're going. Now we're golden. Welcome to WyzGyz Entertainment. This is your host, Wyman. We are joined by our very special guest, Mike Murphy, who resides in Deepwell. Well, that's a new avatar, isn't it?
Yeah, the avatars are different, like when I broadcast from my laptop or my phone, and I'm on my phone right now.
Looks kind of like an android there.
Yeah, she's that's Kedzie from the Gods Fear Me, which we actually just reopened.
Oh, okay. Wait, reopen? So
Yeah, we shut down, I think around late April, I want to say, or early May, and because we thought that we were going to be going to print and fulfillment sooner than we were able to. There were some production issues, and like we need until about October-ish or maybe even November. So I reached out to Indiegogo, and they, opened our campaign back up in demand.
Okay. Man, your guys' campaigns are, doing pretty darn good.
Yeah, like I had some hesitation reopening the Gods Fear Me, but like over the past like 2 months or so that we've been promoting Deepwell, a bunch of people have been asking about it, and like I've been telling them, well, hey, we'll be doing a leftovers campaign just like we did with Samurai, but I thought I would take a chance, and I think I made the right choice because so far, I mean, just in like a little over 24 hours, we've had 10 new backers for that campaign.
Yeah. So they literally let you kind of hide or put on hold the project and then reactivate it, or
Well, what it is when you successfully fund, if you choose to, the campaign goes into a in-demand status, meaning like it's like a storefront.
Yep.
You, as the person running the campaign, have to opt out of it on your end. So, like earlier this year, I opted out of it, meaning that the whole campaign was just shut down and closed, thinking that we were going to be going into fulfillment sooner than we're able to. So, yeah, and I wrote in, I sent a couple emails off, and yeah, they had no problem. They were really helpful, and they opened it back up for me.
Oh, wow. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Right on. That's cool. It's back open. So is this going to be back open for a while then?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like we're really pushing hard for like October, November-ish. So it's going to be a really limited window, maybe like a month and a half, and then we're going to shut it down like for real, for good, so that we can have a final print number.
So were there issues with the publisher, or was there like
Oh no, I'm the publisher. So like what I've been saying, when people like ask about it is, it's no one person's fault. I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus, except for myself. Like, as the project lead, it's my fault that this book isn't in people's hands yet. But thankfully, most of our audience has been really patient and really understanding about the situation. So, they've been okay with, the main delay.
He had a schemes and scams special.
Yeah, that's where it started, man.
Oh man, that's funny. Uh, all right, so uh, Matanui says he's on time this time. It says, I don't care about being first, not sure why anyone else does. It's just kind of one of those little funny things. Like,
yeah, it's just about the prestige.
yeah. Welcome, J Money. How's it going? Welcome, Faith. Good to have you.
Hey, everybody.
So, Deepwell, Caliber of Death. So you're all Deepwell is making similar numbers to God's Fear Me.
Yeah, it's funny. It took the Gods Fear Me up until, right around when we closed. So again, like somewhere around April-ish. It took us from August of 2019 until April of this year to get to 1,300, 13,000, I want to say. And we've like doubled that time with Deepwell. I mean, we're really coming up to the point where I think in the next month or two, Deepwell is going to eclipse the Gods Fear Me, and I'm really thrilled and grateful about that.
That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this a new trailer?
No, it's still the last trailer, but it's a new cover for the video, which is John Maylin's pinup.
Nice.
Yeah, I am. Sometime this week, I'm going to be putting together kind of a fall trailer for Deepwell that's going to incorporate some of the new pages and new images we've got, and that'll be the final trailer that we have up until we shut down sometime around November or December.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Looks good. Let's go
Thank you.
and play this. I still get a kick out of that.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that trailer, and it's going to be hard to top that music.
Yeah. So this is in demand. You're at 10,534, 214 backers.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that the rate at which Deepwell's rising is almost double that of God's Fear Me.
Yeah, in terms of the scale at which we're increasing versus the time, like to put it into perspective, when we went in demand with the Gods Fear Me, we were at 6,780, and with Deepwell we were almost at 9,000. So yeah, like it's seen a steep climb in backers as compared to like the Gods Fear Me.
Right on. That is very cool.
Yeah, again, I couldn't be more grateful. Like, I mean, you were there for it in the early days of this particular campaign. There was like a good, I want to say 2 weeks there where it just seemed like the audience, either the audience wasn't connecting or we weren't finding the audience for the book. And like to see the turnaround that we've made over the past month and a half maybe, and for it to be this high up already, I couldn't be more grateful to everybody.
Yeah, it as many campaigns seem to do, kind of seem to stall a little bit.
Yeah.
Have you been able to pinpoint what might have caused the increase in interest? Like, did you add some additional perks that people were really getting into, or were there some, like, did you get a chance to go on some of the larger channels?
Yeah, I mean the larger channels definitely helped. Like Cecil and Maylin certainly helped push the book a lot, which I was really grateful for. And close to, and this is where the whole thing of like we didn't really need to extend, if only for just like 2 days. That final like 48-hour window of the first 30 days, Ethan pushed the book a lot, and I wasn't even aware of it.
Really?
Yeah, like he was just doing like a hangout stream. He had like 7 or 8 people on, and they were just going through campaigns. And yeah, I think Maylin brought up to him like we were coming down to the wire on Deepwell, and he pulled it up and was promoting the hell out of it for like 2 days, and that
Oh,
really, yeah, that really helped make up some numbers like towards the end there. I think again, we just needed an extra 2 days after his promotion, and we were funded.
nice. Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Welcome, Eric McIntyre. Sup,
Hey.
homies? You got this.
For sure.
Oh, man. Some good stuff. Chibi Comics. Uh, Wait, am I pronouncing that right? Is it Chibi or Chibi?
No, it's fine. It's chibi.
Chibi. All right. That's what it sounds like. Seems
Yeah,
like.
no, you got it.
All right. The caliber of death.
Yeah, and so we're going to have a big update this month.
Hmm?
Towards the end of August, I showed off in an update. Like if you click over to the updates, you'll probably be able to see it. I showed off some of the rough pencils for the first page from Raphael, and he's already sent me inks for that page along with the next 3 pages on top of that. So he's tearing through it at a really good pace.
Nice. Right on.
Yeah. So yeah, like I've said in previous times that I've been promoting it, the book itself is divided into 8 chapters, and we're gonna be kind of doing a Tarantino or Nolan thing where there's like time jumps between each chapter. So we're gonna be going back and forth a bit. So the prelude is current day, like the town burning down, the major assault from the Grey Devil, and then we're going to cut back to 25 years earlier to the founding of the town.
Nice. Right on. All right. Yeah. So those are the latest updates there. Yeah, it's definitely a good idea and very important to keep the backers in the loop.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's for like, people who haven't like done a lot of campaigns or like they're just starting out. The main thing that I say, besides like building your audience and making sure your product is 100% and all that stuff, like once you have all that stuff locked down, the main thing that I tell them to focus on is like, look, if you hit funding, a like that money isn't yours, it's for the campaign, and b, um, do at least monthly updates. I understand, like some campaign people are like, oh, I only update like every 2 or 3 months. I prefer updates once a month.
Yeah, I would say minimum once a month. If you can provide more updates, great, but I'd say at least minimum once a month.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like the once a month format because, it gives you a nice buildup of stuff that you can share with the backers, and it doesn't take too much of a chunk out of your schedule, because like weekly updates can like kind of be a hassle, because then you're like depending on the artist to get you something back, in time to like put together the post. This way it's like, no, like here's a nice chunk of new information on the project, and we'll come back this time next month and there'll be another huge like chunk of information for you to like go over and really feel involved with the process. So yeah, like just constant updates. And I mean, like what we went through with the Gods Fear Me, I did my best to tell the backers like, hey, look, like there's a delay, it's a production issue. Here's what's going on, here's what's done, here's the pages that are done, here's where I'm at with the coloring, here's where Adam's at with the lettering. um, Most people are going to be forgiving of stuff like delays, as long as you tell them why the delay is happening and that there is in fact a delay. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah. I mean, people are surprisingly understanding.
Yeah,
As long as you make it clear what on earth happened.
right. Yeah, and like especially when like you start expanding and adding people, and now you're juggling multiple people's schedules, and like like if one of them has something happen, then that affects everyone else's schedule, and that affects the production of the book. Like it's it's just a part of like expanding as a publisher or a company. And I think that's part of why people are so understanding, because they realize that so many of us are like first or second time publishers and don't have tons of people working behind the scenes to make sure that things stay perfectly on track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Uh, we got a question. What inspired the book?
Did Deepwell or God's Fear Me? I'm assuming Deepwell.
Probably Deepwell.
Okay. So the the main source of inspiration was I was doing a rewatch of Deadwood, and just the thought occurred to me, like in the middle of all this chaos going down and all these like power plays and like the huge level of drama that comes with that show, for anyone that's ever seen it. um I just thought to myself, like, what if a character like the Lone Ranger just rode into town at this moment? Like this kind of altruistic vigilante who makes a hard distinction between right and wrong, in this kind of like morally gray world. Like what would that do to the power plays and the dynamics going on right now? And from there, it kind of took a few years to like grow and evolve, and really for me to figure out what the book was. But once I realized that it was kind of this, at its core, this family drama, this like Shakespearean level family drama, a lot of the roadblocks that I was having creatively kind of went away, and the story started falling into place.
All right, cool. Yeah, it confirms it was he was
Awesome. Well, there you go.
right on. So, do you say that when the before it goes to print, this is going to be changed to TERY
Yes, yes.
to match the artwork?
Yeah, yeah, like to be honest, like right now we are like waist deep in the main book itself. Like I still have to reach out to Fernando, the artist for the Prelude book, and like have him do some tweaks, and like have him start producing like illustrations for the interior of the book. Like Yeah, right now, like me and the whole team, like we're just so invested in the main book itself. To be honest, I haven't even put much thought into the prelude story.
uh, just the little things
Oh yeah,
that pop out.
yeah. No, all the I's will be dotted, all the T's will be crossed by the time these two books are done.
So our first swag bag pinup by Vinny Tartamella. Nice.
Hmm.
This is really cool.
Yeah, Vinny, Vinny's got his nickname for a reason. He's really good at drawing the ladies.
Yeah. Actually, I guess I could go. Oops. Uh-oh. There we go.
So yeah, for anyone watching who doesn't know who this is Myra Block. She is the eldest sibling of the Block family, who are the ones that kind of rule over Deepwell with an iron grip, and she is definitely the Southern Belle slash femme fatale of the book, and I always describe her as being more thorn than rose.
That's really nice.
Yeah, like she's very easy on the eyes, but once you get past that, oof, she can be a handful.
Our second swag bag pinup by the one and only John Maylin.
Yep. Yeah, John knocked this thing out of the park, and I couldn't be more honored to have some of his work tied to our campaign.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Uh, hopefully it's not a spoiler, but is his horse like mechanical, like an android, or?
No, no,
All
no.
right.
I mean, that's just totally artistic liberty for John, which is fine for me. The book, the book is, I'd say, 99.9% rooted in reality.
Okay,
Yeah.
good deal. There's neat effects and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, he's, and I said this on another stream the other day. I always blank on the name of his colorist, but his personal colorist just does such amazing work.
yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
I love how the torches came out too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely like when we get to book two and we have to start thinking about a second printing for the first issue to go along with book two. I'm definitely gonna be reaching out to John and see if he's okay with us using this as the cover for the second printing.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Stretch goals 8K Gray Devil sketch sticker by 6 a.m. Comics unlocked.
Yep. Everybody's gonna be getting that sticker, and so at 10K, it was just going to be a pay bonus for Raphael, and that was unlocked. But Peter Gilmore stepped up to the plate, and he was like, "Well, here's an image of Myra that I've been, playing around with. How about you offer this as a sticker to go with that 10K tier?" So you're not only going to be getting the 6 a.m. sticker, but you're also going to be getting a second sticker by Peter, kind of a cameo looking sticker of Myra.
uh, when she first appears, when she
Yes,
comes out.
yes,
Oh my gosh, how cool is that?
yes. She's really popping out, I guess you could say.
So that's also a sticker. All right.
Hmm.
So,
And
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so we're not realistically, like, looking at where we're at in funding, we're not too far away from 12K, and that's going to be unlocking our family portrait of Jacob Block, the father, by E.T. Madness. So I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, certainly.
And the big news that we announced late last month was if/when we hit 14K, we will be unlocking a 4-page epilogue that's going to focus on Myra, and that will be drawn by Peter Gilmore.
Oh, is that right? My goodness.
Yeah.
Boy, he is like so busy.
Ugh, Peter. There are a lot of hardworking artists in ComicsGate. Peter never stops working.
I know. Every stream he goes on, he's drawing.
Yeah, because he has to.
He's got a lot on his plate for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Remind me how the family portrait is going to work out. Was it going to be almost the same size as the book, just a touch smaller?
Yeah. These prints, the family portrait and the one by Maylin and Vinny, they're probably going to be about the size of the book, if not maybe just like an inch or two smaller.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you anticipate it being on like a paper or photo print paper or like a cardstock?
I'm aiming for cardstock. Like, I have to look over the budget stuff. If I can't afford cardstock, it'll at least be on like a firm glossy stock.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not just going to be like a regular printout. It's going to have some weight to it.
Now, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. You'll have to refresh my memory. Were you looking into possibly offering a different family portrait in every Deepwell campaign?
Yeah, so what we're looking at right now is if we get to 16K, we might offer a print of Preston's cover, but fully colored.
Oh.
And if we hit 18K, we're looking at sheriff badge pins. But if we can get into the 20K territory, that's where I might reach out to ET Madness here and have him possibly do a full line of portraits for each member.
Wow.
So yeah, we'll see. Obviously, the one that I would really like to hit is that 18K one, because I would like to manufacture some sheriff's badge pins, and I was thinking of having like a little streak of blood on it, like the Watchman pin.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, right. So yeah, like if anyone would like to walk around and be an honorary deputy of Deepwell, help us hit that 18K mark.
Yeah, you can start deputizing people.
Exactly.
Deputizing the backers. 14K, 18K, yeah. If or when you get to that stretch goal, 18K with the pins, you'll probably also want to think about how you're going to ship them. I presume you're planning on shipping it with the rest of the book, the print.
Yeah.
Right
I've
there.
I've backed a few campaigns, like off the top of my head, like RT Bears Black and White. I've backed a few campaigns that have come with pins, and they're usually shipped with the books, just like in a little protective baggie to make sure they don't like irritate the books or any of the other stuff in the box.
Yeah. So far, most of the campaigns I've gotten have delivered pins A-OK.
Right.
I think it was the Seven Legions one that ended up uh, the back of the pin.
Mm-hmm.
The two endpoints where it's
Yeah, yeah.
the most. They they didn't puncture anything, but they like left impressions, like little dents,
Oh, I get you.
in
Okay.
all four of the posters that were included.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was a bummer. I mean, I'm not going to ask for replacements of those posters because it's not like they're torn through or anything.
Sure.
If it poked holes through it, then maybe I might have, but I think they still look good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't really see it anyway unless you're really looking close at it. But I was thinking, and then some pins they're like the let me see, what was the other one? Oh, it's over here. It was either Johnny Phantasm or the one of the other ones where it, it's the simpler one that has
Mm.
where it pops out of one end.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, sometimes during shipping, things get rustled around a bit, and then the pin portion pops out, and then it can poke you if you're not careful.
Yeah, of course.
So I was thinking, well, maybe if there's like a piece of foam or something that is sure not to shift around
Mm-hmm.
as the pin is shifted around, or I don't know, it might be too expensive to invest in tiny little baggies specifically for the thing. I think some people are even putting the pin inside the comic bag on the backing board opposite that of the book itself,
Oh, okay.
if I
Sure.
remember. So
Yeah,
that
that's an option.
you got the backing board that protects it too.
Right, right,
That
right.
might work too. Um, Matanui says, looks like something out of Batman, the animated series.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not far off. Again, so kind of the meta narrative of the Gray Devil is we wanted him to be kind of this amalgamation of all vigilante characters from the pulps all the way till now. Um, so, like a few of the ones in there are like the classic, 1930s version of Batman with the purple gloves. Someone has pointed out like they caught the purple gloves as a reference. And then you've definitely got some stuff from the animated series in there. There's a bit of the Gray Ghost. There's a bit of the Phantasm from Mask of the Phantasm. So yeah, like when it comes to the Gray Devil, you're looking at everything from those characters to the Lone Ranger to the Shadow to there's a bit of the Punisher in there. He's a bit of everything all kind of blended together.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, I was getting more, I think, Shadow vibes
Yeah.
when I look at him.
Yeah, definitely. Like the Shadow is one of the heavy ones. The Lone Ranger, but that's where I like often mention the Punisher because he's a bit more ambiguous morally when it comes to taking life. Like the Punisher, whereas the Lone Ranger was more of an altruistic, truly lawful good character.
Right on.
There, and like last but certainly not least, like there's a bit of Zorro in there.
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Welcome, Stefani. How's it going? Hello, hello.
Hey, how's it going, Stefani?
All right.
Uh, so I can tease it a little bit. Like on my Twitter all this week, we've been doing like major announcements and surprises. We've got one coming up for Deepwell later today. I just have to get the okay from an artist.
Oh.
And tomorrow, we are going to be announcing something huge.
Oh my.
Yeah, we're going to be announcing our next project, which we'll be focusing on next year.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, anyone that doesn't follow me on Twitter, if you want to see some really amazing promo art, start following me and tune in tomorrow afternoon.
Yes.
Like, we want to have the God's Fair, and we want to get to the point where we're near ready to go to print before we even think about launching something else. But that something else is in the early stages of production, and I think people are gonna dig it. It's really juicy.
Let's see. Oh, that's from June 3rd.
Yeah, so Monday we announced that the God's Fair was back open. Tuesday we announced that on the Samurai Leftover campaign, there are only 9 copies that we have left in stock. And
Ooh,
so
9.
yeah, 9. Then that's it. That's the end of the first print run. So what we're gonna do is, for people who have read the book, there are these flashback segments in the book that are preceded by like a little one sheet character introduction, like splash page. It's just like, almost like a character design with the character's name that leads into the flashback. I have the original art for all 8 of those character flashbacks, and 8 of the 9 people who get these last copies will be getting one of those character intro sheets. And then whoever gets the very last copy of Samurai and Dinosaurs will kind of be getting a top secret grab bag of goodies as a huge thank you.
Oh my gosh. Damn.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
So yeah, man. And like there's another announcement today. It's going to be Deepwell related, and like I said, I'm just waiting on the okay from the artist before I put it out there.
Okay. So the one where you're talking about the final copies and the bonus swag, top secret swag, that is through the Samurais and Dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's
campaign?
for our leftovers campaign.
Yeah.
Which
All right.
yeah. So yeah, there are 6 swag bag sets left in the Samurai campaign, and there are 2 copies of the book by itself. We're not divvying that up. Like, whoever buys what, you're all going to be getting one of these character sheets.
Okay.
And then whatever is left, be it a swag bag or a regular copy of the book, as the very last copy, you'll be the one to get something really kind of special.
Sweet. Man, 9 copies left.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. We launched this leftovers campaign, I think a month before Deepwell, and we were planning on leaving it up as a storefront just for like the rest of the year, if not into next year. I think we had like 70 or 80 copies total left, and I was not planning this soon to have gone through all of those copies. It's again, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, man, but I could not be more grateful to our audience. It's been amazing.
And when you do sell out of the remaining 9 copies,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you'll close out the campaign. Since
Yeah.
you'll just, all you'll need to really do is just complete fulfillment, right? Because you already
Yeah.
have it printed.
Right, yeah, which we're in the middle of fulfillment right now. We've been sending out stuff for the past couple weeks, like here and there, and all this week we're just sending out orders so that hopefully in the next week and a half, uh, everyone should have all their stuff and we'll be done.
Nice. Oh, I think I missed something here. Kind of looks like Deadpool.
All right, well, that's the one vigilante-ish character who doesn't quite factor into Deepwell. There's not too much of Wade in there.
You mean your protagonist doesn't eat chimichangas?
No, he doesn't.
Uh,
He's
oh, go ahead. You're saying?
No, I was just gonna say he's more the chew and gravel type.
Let's see. Eric commented, anytime I see that mustache, I think of that line. Hey, guys. Eric's about to have some El Pollo Loco.
That's awesome.
I actually had Chipotle today.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of shopping and then I got hungry. Hungry. All right. So let's check out these tiers.
Sure. Let's do that.
So, as I tell everyone, I love when creators offer a featured tier because it's like the best bang for your buck, if you will. You get, it's not necessarily the cheapest, it's not necessarily the most expensive, it's somewhere in between. And you get, you get your book and you get some goodies usually. And it's just cool like that. And for those who want to support you but don't necessarily have all the time to peruse all the different tiers / perks, featured is a way of making your, I don't know, sometimes impulse purchase. And you're assured that you'll get a good taste and a good flavor of the book and what it's all about. That gives you the copy of Deepwell, the prequel dime store novel, one set of swag bag bonuses, the map of Deepwell, a set of 7 character design trading cards, a print of Myra Block by Vinnie Tardamella, and a print of The Grey Devil by John Maylin.
Yeah, man, it's your biggest bang for the buck, and it's a crazy amount of talent that kind of I lucked into all being free at this specific moment in time.
For sure. Was it one of those things where you knew at the early stages of the campaign, hey, I want to reach out to these talented people, and you reach out to them early on, or did you were you kind of mulling it over, trying to figure out who you think might be willing to do it?
The way I work is kind of like, how you hear directors and talent agents work in Hollywood. Like you have your like dream cast, and like, you kind of rank them from like first to last. And as like one after another is either busy or not interested or whatever, like you kind of like check names off the list. But what's crazy is I always tell this story, like with John specifically. since Samurai and Dinosaurs, I've been trying to get him to like do some type of piece for each of our campaigns. And every time he's like, I'm busy, or like I'm in production, I can't, and every time like I would tell him like I'm gonna get you next time. And and yet, so like of course, like I was expecting John to say no. And I don't take it personally. Like John's a great guy, and like we talk sometimes. Like I've been on his show a bunch. He's cool. Um, but I was expecting him to say no because I knew that like at that point he was about to launch Graveyard Shift 3. So I'm like, okay, like he's busy with all that. I think they're still wrapping up some stuff with Graveyard Shift 2 in terms of fulfillment. Like, he's probably gonna say no. And like this was the time he was like, you got me. I'm like, all right. Um, so yeah, like it was completely unexpected, and there was no way I could say no, or just go with one artist. I was like, okay, well then it's going to be you and Vinny, and that just means more for the readers.
All right. Next one is I just realized I was still sharing Twitter instead of this page, the campaign page.
Oh, okay.
So we had the single physical copy, so
Hmm.
that's the book. We've also got the Preston Acevedo alternate cover
Hmm.
single copy. That's for 15.
Yeah, that Killer Preston cover. And again, I haven't formally announced it, but our 16K stretch goal is probably going to be a print of that cover in full color.
Mm. Who would do the colors?
Preston has a guy. I follow him on Twitter. Again, I'm really bad with names, and I apologize, people. But yeah, Preston has like one preferred colorist that he goes with, and it would probably be him.
Cool.
Yeah, like anything that you've seen of Preston's that's in full color, obviously not including his paintings. Um, but anything you've seen of his in full color, just picture that style, and that's probably how this cover is going to look.
Yep. Yeah, when an artist finds a colorist they work really well with,
Hmm.
it is basically a team you've got there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like I know whatever future dealings me and Preston have, be it like working on a full book or things like this where he does an alternate cover and we want to do a print of it. I know working with Preston, it's a package deal. Like his colorist comes with him.
Right. Next one is the digital book in the prequel.
Hmm. And yeah, the prequel is called The Gray Devil and the Cemetery of Forgotten Deeds. The Cemetery of Forgotten Deeds is a mysterious location somewhere in the world where vigilantes, the land over, both come to be reborn and come to finally lay down their spurs forever. It just kind of depends where you're at in life and what you have undone in the world left to accomplish. And so, like, the main thing with the cemetery is when you lay down to die for good, when you are coming to this place to die, you have to leave behind a part of your vigilante identity. And the next vigilante who comes to this place then takes different aspects from all the previous vigilantes and kind of creates a new identity from this like pastiche of objects that are kind of all throughout the cemetery. Hence, kind of the found object nature of the Gray Devil's appearance. Like he's actually his identity is this collection of all these other vigilantes who are laid to rest in the cemetery.
Mm.
And it'll be that way for the next person who stumbles onto the Cemetery of Forgotten Deeds. But that's for after we get done with these 3 books.
All right. The next tier is 2 copies, 2 physical copies of the book.
Mm-hmm. It's a good option for international backers. You know, if you want 1 copy and you have a friend who would like another, it helps save on shipping.
For sure, you can split it between the 2 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Preston Acevedo alternate cover, 2 copies.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Yeah, so this is the original cover, and then this is the Preston Acevedo cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you can get both covers, 1 of each, and you can get that for $25.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty sweet. Same price as if you got 2 of the same cover.
Exactly.
So we've got a single copy and the prequel mini. Excuse me.
Yeah, so, you know, if you just want the story, if you don't want any of the swag bag stuff, this is the best way to get like all of the main story and all of the lore that comes with the dime store novel.
Illustrations by Fernando Flavio Giron.
Yeah, Fernando is a beast, man, as you can see from his cover. He's got some great stuff planned for these spot illustrations he'll be doing inside the novel, and he's another one. You know, like when our schedules are more open and line up, I'd love to do a full project with him at some point.
Very nice. All right. This one is the support the troops.
Yeah. So the support the troops option is one that we've had running since the original Samurai campaign. It's kind of a win-win, and I don't see any reason to stop doing it in all future campaigns. 2 copies go to you, and 3 copies get sent out to the military via Operation Paperback.
Excuse me. Drogas Blancos Special or Special.
Right. So this is our schemes and scams perk. And yeah, this is for the big spenders in ComicsGate. It is the ultimate way to support both Chibi Comics and Deepwell. And yeah, again, like I will always have one of these $872 tiers in each of our campaigns. So you get everything with this tier. You get everything from the swag bag perk. You're going to be getting a copy of Preston's alternate cover. You'll be getting a proof copy of Deepwell. You'll be getting an original 11 by 17 illustration drawn by me and colored by Selena Hernandez. And you'll be getting the final page of Deepwell sent directly by Raphael. And this is big because not only does Raphael traditionally work digital, so he doesn't really have any like physical art normally, but this is also the page that reveals the Grey Devil's identity and kind of sets the stage for all the crazy stuff that we're going to be doing in books 2 and book 3.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. For those of you unfamiliar, would you care to elaborate on how you came up with the value 872?
Sure. So I mean, if there's anyone listening who's been a part of ComicsGate for longer than like call it a year, they'll probably remember that around this time last year, if not a little bit earlier, we had a falling out with some of the higher end people in the scene, and one of them was a dude named Edwin, and Edwin was involved with helping to run and orchestrate a site called Indiecron, which in and of itself is a great site. And the main person who owns and operates it, Pixel Trader, yeah, he's a good dude. And in theory, I appreciate what Indiecron is there to do, which is to catalog all these ComicsGate and independent books and show what's funding, what's not, and it just gives you a whole bunch of info on all these campaigns. But anyway, um, cut to like a year and a half ago, um, Edwin wanted to make some decisions regarding Indiecron that I and a handful of other creators weren't crazy about. And when I said, "Hey, I think for the sake of like maintaining my brand and just making sure that there's no weird associations being made to Chibi Comics, I think we would like off of Indiecron, having our books listed there."
Hmm.
Um, and what instead of a courteous professional, okay, no hard feelings, hope you'll reconsider, what I got was, well, that we raised $872 for Samurai and Dinosaurs. So that basically he was holding a somewhat large amount of money over my head, as a threat of what I'd be missing out on if I stepped away from the platform. And
Was that Edwin or Pixel Trader?
oh no, that was Edwin.
Oh, right.
Pixel wasn't directly involved in any of this.
Oh, all right.
So, needless to say, me and some of the other people that were involved with this conversation didn't take too kindly to that. And yeah, I just, what did they say? You monetize your enemies. I just kind of made a vow from then on. I'm like, okay, like every campaign is going to have an $872 tier.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think now I could be wrong, but I think there's maybe 2 or 3 different sites now that are trying to catalog all the CG books.
Yeah, for sure. There's a couple out there, and there's like some in development that I know about. Yeah, again, in theory, I have no problem with that. And I won't get into like some of the specifics with what Edwin was trying to do, but just there were some business decisions that I'm like, no, I don't think I want to be involved with that.
It is. Do you have to be a subscriber to access and use and view Indiecron?
No, it's an open platform. Like you just,
right.
yeah, you just go there and I believe the front page shows like what's currently funding and like how long each campaign has left.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Fantastic. That's pretty trippy.
Yeah. I mean, look, going through it was very trippy.
Oh yeah, I bet.
I'm like, I thought we were buds. What the hell is all this?
Yeah, seriously. That would be now. Let me see. How many other campaigns have you had besides Samurai and Dinosaurs and Deepwell?
The Gods Fear Me and
Gods Fear Me.
And the Samurai Leftover campaign. But
all right.
Our first stab at Samurai and Dinosaurs didn't fund, but for whatever reason, it still lists that campaign. So there's one. Yeah, so there's one extra campaign than how many we've actually successfully funded.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, even when the let's see. Oh yeah, it's over here. Yeah. First printing leftovers. Yeah, that's I love that cover.
It's so great.
Oh, just a brief segue. When you tapped Kelsey Shannon to do the cover,
Yeah.
did you describe what you had in mind and then he did it, or did you like give him free reign as to did you come up with something?
It's funny because you know, like I couldn't believe that he said yes. But again, like the show where I got funded, you know, I was on with Ethan, and you know, he helped us hit funding, and Kelsey was on with us, and that's how we kind of got to know each other. And he loved the idea for the book. You know, I always describe it as the movie that Kurosawa and Harryhausen never made together. And he was like, "That's your book. Just say that shit over and over. Don't ever say anything else about it. That's it." And so like I knew he liked it, but I didn't know that he would necessarily want to like be involved with it. And you know, he said yes, and we started talking, and he started asking me what I wanted, and I was, you know, to be honest with you, I was like, "Dude, you're Kelsey Shannon. Like, you draw whatever you want, man. I'm sure I'm going to be happy with it." And he was like, "No, no, like I want some ideas. Like, tell me what you got." And I think I gave him like one or two very rough concepts that I described and thumbnailed out, you know, because like I'm an illustrator too. And he was uh, he politely was like, "Yeah, that's cool, but what if we do this instead?" And just came up with this rough for what the cover became, and completely blew me away. And I was like, "That's what I was telling you before, Kelsey. Like, you just do you. I'm not going to try to tell you what to draw, Kelsey."
Oh yeah, right on. Very cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I like the stuff that's coming out of your studios. You got
Thanks.
God's Fear Me Book 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is back on In Demand.
Yeah, it is. At least for I'd say probably a month and a half, 2 months at the absolute most. And yeah, I mean, this is your last chance. If you missed out on it, like while we were in the main phase of funding, you've got these 2 months to get in on it. And you know, I made it clear on Twitter, you know, whatever additional stretch goals we hit, I will be honoring them. So yeah, you know, like next up is square binding at 15K. I would love to hit that.
Wow.
And honestly, at this point, like with the huge surge of backers that we had in like just a day, I'm saying it might be possible. And yeah, anything past that in terms of stretch goals, you know, we'll honor them. So yeah, man, like you know, I'm really happy with at the rate of production that we're at. You know, I'm happy with how God's Fear Me is turning out. It's more than halfway done at this point, and you know, we've got the whole team going as fast as they can to wrap up the back half of it. Raphael is drawing his heart out, and you guys are gonna love some of the pages that will be showing off later this month.
Ooh, cool.
And yeah, man. As early as February of next year, there's going to be something huge coming from the studio that I think everybody in ComicsGate is going to dig.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Whoa, like what? You had many summer sketch cards?
Oh yeah, dude. The Mandy sketch card sold out in like an hour.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
I didn't know she was this good. I mean, I have Worth Wizard and stuff. This is cool.
Yeah, I mean, like Wart was her first book, and like she's definitely growing as an illustrator, man. I think she's finding her voice, and yeah, like those cards looked really great. They sold out quick.
Yeah, no
we
doubt. Within
we
an
we
hour, all three of them.
yeah.
Sweet.
We had a set of Joe Ball sketch cards that sold out, I think, in like 2 or 3 days.
Oh man.
And I think we still have a couple sketch card tiers that are open. I think there are 2 from Sim that are still up for sale.
Oh, SIM cards.
Yeah.
And let's see. Oh, SIM sketch cards.
There you go.
2 more left. Yeah. Oh, dang. Get in on this, people.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, and Passion for Drawing's got them too. 2 more for Passion for Drawing.
Yeah, Passion's a great guy. Look, everybody was really supportive of the Gods Fear Me. I think something about the campaign and just us as a studio really connected with people as we got to know everybody during Samurai and Dinosaurs. And everybody came out of the woodwork to help get this thing funded and to the level that it's currently at. And that really meant a lot as well, like to see that amount of support from friends and peers.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's see. Passion for Drawing. Oh my gosh. Vic King sketch cards. You got all kinds of Peter Gilmore's sketch cards. Damn, you got all this talent. What the? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so that was a fun mail day because Peter sent his cards to Mandy, and then Mandy mailed her cards and his cards to me in one package. So I just got this amazing package of all this original art from the 2 of them.
Oh man, neat. Yeah, on a number of campaigns I've backed, they've come with sketch cards, original art, and they're pretty trippy. And I like how they come in those top loaders. I really hadn't had much experience with top loaders until CG, but I'm liking it. I'm liking it.
Yeah, like with all these, because the Gods Fear Me is going to have some trading cards in it. So I'm starting to price, top loaders, and it's been interesting. It's, this will be my first time out shipping cards with books, and I'm looking forward to it.
I bet. Excuse me. Wait, so we got graphic novel. Wait, is one of these the... All right, that's one that closed.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the original successful one, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. And then this one closed. All right, this is the one that didn't make funding.
Right. Yeah, that was our Growing Pains campaign. Like I launched at the worst possible time. Didn't know what I was doing. Didn't have like any really solid connections in CG aside from like 1 or 2 people. And yeah, just there was no way that book was going to make it. But we redoubled our efforts. We took some criticism and we listened to our backers, what they wanted. And again, like the funny thing is, like, universally what most of our backers said is we want to give you more money than you're allowing us to give you. Because that original Samurai and Dinosaurs campaign, my thinking was like, all right, like, it's a 110 page black and white book. It's kind of a genre that's not, like superhero or whatever, so it might not appeal to a ton of people in CG. Like, just do it like, Zach does Iron Sights, like keep it small and cheap and just make it the book and maybe like one or two other things. And again, almost universally, everybody who backed that I could get in touch with afterwards was like, no, like, give us more and we'll give you more.
Yeah. And did I hear you say that you released the book or you started your campaign at the worst time?
Oh yeah, I mean, this was the first year of CG. It was the tail end of, God, that would have been 2018. So yeah, we launched, I think, in October or November. Yeah, it was November 2018.
Okay.
So right around the holidays. And at that time, at least, like everyone kind of universally agreed, like in CG, like don't launch your book at the end of the year because all everyone's thinking about is Christmas.
Right.
But now, I mean, we're kind of seeing that change where I think by next year you're going to see creators launching campaigns all year round.
I think so. I think you're absolutely right. And also, I think there's going to be a trend where people are wanting to be able to back CG books that will be releasing close to Christmas, so
Sure.
they gift those items to their loved ones.
Right, right.
The gift of CG. I think that's going to become quite popular over time.
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm really hoping that we can get God's Fear Me like at least to the printer by November because I would love to be able to get this book into people's hands before Christmas.
That would be very nice.
Yeah.
Did it click? Oh, you did. All right. Oh yeah, I was I was looking at that earlier. But since we're here, let's play this video real quick.
Yeah, sure. I think this is our final week of funding trailer. I don't think I ever changed it after that.
All right. This is a pretty cool music track too.
Yeah, thank you. Again, like my favorite part of running these campaigns is fast becoming finding like just the right royalty-free piece of music.
Yeah, that's something I need to practice on. YouTube keeps copyright claiming me.
Yeah, and what's messed up is with the last two trailers that I've made, even though the sources that I've taken from like has royalty-free like plastered all over the info, I got copyright strikes. I'm like, the hell is that about?
Yeah, and I perhaps naively or stupidly, excuse me, assumed that if I was using YouTube to do searches for royalty-free music,
Mm-hmm.
the results were coming up, and it was also advertised as royalty-free music. And with YouTube, Google owning YouTube, that I was safe, but apparently not.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so like what I do is, like I'll find something and I'll make the trailer around the music and I'll upload it and I'll play it like 3 or 4 times, like on like my TV and a few other sources that are signed into different YouTube accounts.
Oh,
And
that's good.
if I get flagged, then I never upload it to the main campaigns.
Oh, that's a good trick.
Yeah, because I don't care if I get like a copyright strike because my channel's not even monetized.
Yeah.
But I hate the idea of like you or like anyone else that like I promote on their streams. Like I hate the idea of you guys getting strikes against you.
Yeah, on other campaigns, I've gotten, well, not full on strikes, but copyright claims
Hmm.
saying that I can't make money off of it. But I'm like, okay, I'm not monetized anyway. I got a long
Right,
way to
right,
go.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just at like 112 subscribers, so I got a long way to go before I even gotta start worrying about that stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've got a long way to go too. I think I'm like 184, 185.
Sure.
Excuse me. Yeah, so freaking awesome. Let's jump back here to Deepwell
Hmm.
and Marvel once again at all the artwork. Um, have you done like a rough draft or rough printing of the map yet?
No, the map we're probably going to work on when Raphael's done with the main book, and I'm wrapping up the prelude book with Fernando.
All right.
Yeah, like Raphael is just squarely like I like just even having conversations with him sometimes he's like, "Are we talking about the book? Then I don't want to be talking about this." Like his head is in the book right now.
Hmm. Yeah, I hear you. And then really nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It's got a lot of energy.
Yeah, it's great. And like I'm focusing on Myra as much as I am because next to the Gray Devil, I really think Myra is going to be one of those characters that the audience just latches onto, and I think she's going to be one of those love to hate characters.
Mmm, nice.
But with book two, especially book two and book three, the promotional items we produce will be focusing on the other family members more.
Right, right.
Because yeah, we've got Thomas, we've got Jacob, the father. There's a whole big cast that you've barely seen any of yet, and it's going to be great.
Very cool. Let's play the main trailer once more here.
Hmm.
Deepwell, the caliber of death.
Amply.
Oops. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Everyone there? You guys are still there.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
It's weird. The
Yeah.
video just had a weird hiccup.
My internet hasn't gone down yet.
Uh-oh.
That's bizarre. Hold on. Reload the page. Oh,
Yep.
let's try again. Man. I don't know if I could ever get tired of that.
I know.
Oh man. Oh
If I could make a poster out of that image, I would.
man. You can though.
I can, but no one would get the context.
You have like an asterisk in the upper right corner of the image.
Right.
You describe it at the bottom.
Right, exactly. It's just like 2 paragraphs describing the plot.
That would be hokey though. Oh man. Yeah, this is doing pretty darn good. 10,534, 214 backers. Definitely everybody keep backing this. Back it once. If you've already back it again.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, we're hoping we're going to keep it open probably until November-ish, maybe a little bit longer than that. And I'm really hoping that we can close out around the 18,000 mark, if not past that. I'd love to get those pins out to everybody, and I'd love for this campaign to make like 3,000 to 4,000 over what we did with the Gods Fear Me. Like we're a small independent studio, and right now growth is key. And the more backers, the more readers, the more funds that we have available to work with, that just means more that we can invest into future projects.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. Well, this has been awesome.
Thanks, man. I had fun.
We will. Glad you had fun. uh, I'm giving you the stage. Please share with the world how people can find you on social media.
You got it. So, I'm mostly on Twitter. You can find me at chibi_Mike. And you can also find me on YouTube at the Chibi Mike, all one word. I do a show every Sunday called CG One-on-One. I'm going to have a couple guests on this weekend. And yeah, like it's a great kind of informal, like hang out and just chill conversational show. There's some shilling, but whereas like most shows are like topic driven, and like it's just this like progression of one thing to the next. It's kind of set up like what Rogan does, where just the conversation goes wherever it goes.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm really happy with it. It's the main thing that I do on my channel. But I am looking to expand. I've been doing a playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima called yeah.
Very popular game.
The show's called Samurai Minus Dinosaurs. And yeah, like I've got 2 episodes of that, and we'll definitely be getting back to it this week and next week. So yeah, hit me up on either of those sources.
Right on. So, what do you think of the game so far? What's your like initial review?
It's great, man. Playing through it, I've got a handful of people like sitting in and watching it with me every night. It's like before I knew any of the like crazy out of left field like SJW-ish stuff that was in The Last of Us 2. I thought that The Last of Us 2 was going to be the game that kind of signaled the end of this generation of consoles. Because I feel like The Last of Us, the first one, definitely did that with the 360 and PS3. It feels like, like at the end of every console generation, there's that game where it's like, yeah, this kind of sums up everything that happened while these consoles were on market.
Oh yeah, all right.
You know what I mean? And so I thought that Last of Us 2 was going to be that game, but then everything that happened with it happened. And Tsushima came out, and I was like, "Oh, this is that game." Like it's visually gorgeous. It pushes that console as hard as it can without breaking it, and it kind of sums up everything in terms of gameplay that we've been doing over the past couple of years with these consoles.
Yeah, that really is it, isn't it? It's about the end of a console generation where you know you kind of, or the the gamers of that platform um, come to come across a really exciting, fun game that feels different and that engages them and that they
Right.
enjoy playing. And at the same time, it the developers of that game are doing all they can to, make the most of the hardware and
Sure.
push it to its limits, like you were stating.
Yeah, and like, look, because I know like my buddy Optimus is out there going like, well, PC has no end of the line. Like, I know for PC gamers it's different. I know, I know, but for those of us that like, either can't afford or like in my case, I like the idea of video game consoles. I like them. I think there's something cool about them that just harkens back to childhood and teens in your early 20s and uh like there Jeff Gerstmann from Giant Bomb, he's like, I just think this shit is cool. I don't care that PCs exist. I'm a PC gamer too. I just think they're cool. Like, I kind of fall into that camp.
Yeah,
So so yeah, I know it's kind of different for PC gamers, but like there is kind of this sense, if you're into consoles, there is kind of this like closing time sense where you're like, you can feel that the developers are like easing off and moving on to the new console hardware, and like the releases become fewer and fewer, and so like when something like Tsushima does come out, it's more meaningful than if it just came out like 2 years into the console's lifespan,
yeah, yeah. I may be in the same boat as you because I still enjoy consoles. I don't have any of the newer systems,
hmm hmm
but I got a PS2 and I still have an Atari Jaguar. Uh,
Nothing wrong with that, man.
yeah, I still enjoy playing those. Plus, I have the PSPs, PlayStation
Oh, nice.
Portables. So it the thing about consoles is you're dedicating all your CPU and GPU processing exclusively to gaming.
hmm
Not
hmm
trying to multitask and do like web browsing as you do on a computer.
Sure, sure.
And so all your energies are focused in on that console. And one of the beauties of console gaming is you're not expected to learn 50 different keyboard combinations to accomplish a task. And
Sure.
with a lot of the adventure gaming on computer, you've got like 50 different keys to do 50 different things, and some of them are like uh, what is that term where you have some that require two keys to operate, two
Right, right.
keys on the keyboard,
Yeah,
like
I get you.
things, and you know, console gaming does harken back to the simpler times
Sure.
where you don't have to do all that memorization of the keys, and
Right.
there's I think it just adds to the fun of the experience.
Yeah, and like, look, I understand that more and more consoles are kind of becoming irrelevant because they're basically becoming mini PCs. Like,
Yep.
you look at the specs for the Xbox, what's it called, Series X, that's coming out this year. You look at the specs and you look at its design and you look at everything that it's going to be doing in terms of UI and interaction, and it's basically a mini PC. Um, so I understand that at a certain point, like these two worlds are just gonna kind of dovetail together. But yeah, man, like there's just something about like, like I would like to build a solid gaming PC over the next year or two, but that being said, there is something to like, okay, like, I stare at my computer screen all day, like, be it writing or doing like art stuff. I kind of want to get away from that and like go put up my feet in the front room and like not think about anything computer related and just play a video game or like, watch a Blu-ray or a 4K disc or something,
Mm-hmm.
And again, I know like PC people are going to be like, well, you can just stream the PC to your living room TV if you do X, Y, and Z. I know.
That's true too.
I just think it's cool. I like them.
Yeah, that's a fact. Uh, yeah, one off on a little tangent, but that's cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, hey,
That always,
I like video games.
yeah, me too. That always tends to happen on my channel anyway.
Right.
Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, I'm checking to see on the internet if I can find some kind of adapter to allow me to connect my Jaguar to monitor or something.
Hmm.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah, that would be really cool, man. You should stream some old Jaguar games, like
Oh my gosh, I would love to.
yeah, like all tiny resolution, like stream some Alien versus Predator or something.
Oh my gosh, that game would freak me out. Um, it was one of those games where my stepdad would play it most of the time,
Hmm.
and I would watch him. And what we were doing for a while is I took out graph paper and draw. I was trying to draw the maps to the different levels,
Hmm.
so we knew where the armory was.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I might do a video where I show some of those little drawings. It's quite funny, but every the I think there was a lack. There wasn't so much really so much as music to give you the sense of dread, uh, but it was more like the sound effects. And I think there was this female voice that said something like "anytime" uh,
Yeah.
as you were cruising around at breakneck speed, and then you
Hmm.
have the pulsing of your radar.
Yeah. The beep, the pinging.
Yep, yep, and all of the ambiance combined made a really good game.
Right.
It was freaking scary.
For sure, man.
Uh, and then of course you don't want, like, if you're playing as the Marines, you don't want to be splattered with acid blood.
Of course.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite games. My stepdad was also good at Doom and Wolfenstein 3D.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I forgot that those were ported over to the Jaguar.
Yeah, games like that were it kind of almost gave me motion sickness because he'd run so fast.
Sure, I can see that.
And you know how Wolfenstein 3D especially was known for all these like hidden doors and walls.
Yeah, of course.
So you do that one key that sounds like you're constantly punching the wall.
Yeah.
You speed down the length of the wall and you're constantly making that sound. Then you speed down another wall, you're constantly making that sound. Looking for all the secret rooms and stuff for all the gear. Those were funny times too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, video games were a different thing back then.
Yeah. I hope to figure out how to get that going. That'll be fun.
Sure, man.
But in the meantime, I'm doing streaming gameplay on my Mac, and I actually completed the end of Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Oh, okay.
I thought I still had lots more gameplay to go, but it turns out I was like over 75% of the way through with the game at that where I left off.
Hmm.
So it kind of shocked me. So I don't know. Maybe I'll replay it and be as evil as I possibly can.
Right, right.
But because I always start off trying to be a Jedi, trying to be good and noble and all that good stuff.
Sure.
And
Well, I mean, that's how most of those, not even just the Knights of the Old Republic games, but like most games, you have that thing where like your first playthrough is like, okay, this is me just being like a normal human being, and then if you do a second playthrough, that's when you're like, I'm just going to be a psychopath.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And uh, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep this up, but I've been playing Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh,
Larry,
wow. Okay.
Larry Reloaded.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I'm getting close to another roadblock where I need to earn cash. So uh,
Hmm.
I'll probably jump back into that game within the next week or so.
Cool.
But yeah, fun stuff. Fun stuff. Yeah, so to sum it up, let's see, you already shared your social media. You can find me on Twitter at WyzGyz Tweets, on Twitch under WyzGyz Twitches, under Parlay, under WyzGyz Parlays. Facebook and YouTube is WyzGyz Entertainment. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Mark the bell for notifications. Indicate you want all notifications and not just some or none. And thank you to everyone in the chat for hanging with us. Thanks to everyone who watches us on replay. Thanks to our very, very special guest, Mike Murphy. Glad to have you on again. You're always
Hey,
welcome here.
my pleasure, man.
And we are going to call it a night, ending broadcast in 3, 2, 1.